Hi travelers, Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot, and I'm coming to you with the general reading for the zodiac sign of Gemini for the month of July 2016. This will be Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Before I lay the spread, I want to thank you guys so much for being so patient with me and getting my readings up. I had some other things that came up around the beginning of the month, so I really want to thank you for your patience on this. Second of all, those people who got Akashic Records readings from me, thank you so very much for allowing me the opportunity to work with you. I love the tarot cards, but Akashic Records is really my thing. I totally dig it. So I'm very pleased that you guys trusted me enough to let me work with you on those things that we worked on. And it always makes my heart just like when I hear a client with the Akashic Records go, oh my God, and that puzzle piece kind of falls into place and you can hear it click. And that is why I do the Akashic Records. I really love that. So thank you. Those of you who are waiting to get your Akashic Records reading, this is the last video for July. So I'm going to be contacting you later this evening. I'm going to take a break, take a day off, and then I'll get with you and I'll get started, okay? My friend Sally Kirkman is no longer doing the astrological one question reading with the pay what you want. You'll have to wait until next year. I'm sorry if you didn't get a chance to get in on that. But if you go back to some videos that I did near the end of June, the link to her website is there. So maybe you might want to bookmark it and try to keep up with that. I am also running specials this month for July. It's $20 off the regular phone readings. The special was supposed to run from July 6th until the 13th. The videos are late, so I'm going to extend that out until the 20th. For those of you who've been emailing saying, well, how do I book a reading? My website information is in the description underneath the video. It is in the about box. It is in the channel art. And then in each video, up in the little right-hand corner, you're going to see an eye and something that'll say, click here for a website. Well, click there and it'll take you to the website. Okay? It's real simple. So the last thing I'm going to say, if you're going to book a reading, it's not the last thing, but if you're going to book a reading with me, no matter what kind, I do ask that you don't tell me what another reader has said. And the reason why I say this is I need a blank slate to work with. And I don't want to know what someone else said because it can influence the reading that I get. And I want to come clean when I give you the reading, okay? And it doesn't mean that whomever read for you before, there's not some truth to what they're telling you. I just don't need to hear that, okay? Because it kind of messes me up. So lastly, we are still in the Pluto retrograde, Neptune retrograde, and then on the 30th, Uranus goes retrograde. And that's one of the big outer planets. And quite frankly, this has been the year of retrogrades. And we are now coming up on eclipse season in September. It's going to be the last set of eclipses for 2016. Okay, and as I was telling you last year, this is running along the Virgo Pisces, so this is all about karma, destiny, and fate. Uranus is sort of like Pluto when he goes retrograde, he becomes stronger. Uranus is the great liberator. He is the rebel. He will come in and shake some shit up, throw you for a loop. You like, what just happened? I feel like I've been hit by a Mack truck. So know that that energy is coming. I'm not exactly sure how long Uranus is going to stay retrograde, but be prepared. Also, on the 17th, we're going to start going into the shadow phase of Mercury retrograde. So in all, we're going to have 4 planets. And I don't think there's been one period throughout 2016 where there haven't been at least 4 to 5 planets in retrograde all at the same time. So this has been quite a year astrologically and so far. And we still got a few months to go. So Mercury will be going retrograde either August 9th or 10th. We'll stay retrograde for 3 weeks. And then as he begins to turn back into direct motion, we're going to have another 2-week shadow phase. And already my electronics are starting to act kind of wonky because I have double Mercury rulership. So the regular retrograde rules apply, which is anything that you can stick the prefix re in front of, get ready to do that. Rework, review, reassess, revise, relax, recreate or recreate. So anything that you can do to do that. Now, again, this is a general reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising. Got cards flying already. The messages will not resonate for everyone, in which case, please check your sun and, I'm sorry, your moon and rising sign. Please don't come under the video and ask me, how does this end for me? Does this apply to me? This is general. There are millions of Geminis in the world. And so if you really need some help or, you know, some guidance or counsel on whatever your issue is, it's best to purchase a personal reading because I tune into your personal energies around your personal situation. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to put a quick cut on these cards here, and then I'll show you what fell out. Probably some of you already see it. Hang on, I ain't trying to move it so you can't see it. I'm going to actually do 4 cuts on this one. Okay. The card that flew out at the beginning was the Temperance card. Okay. We're going to see how that comes into play. Again, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, July 2016. That 4 of stinking coins has been coming up and coming up and coming up. Okay. Wow. Wow. Whoa. Come on, Geminis. And then I have the Mars in Gemini. Okay. The 9 of Swords. Now, right in the center of the spread, what I have is the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is a student of communication. Okay. And he can learn a lot about himself through communications in the way that either he communicates with other people, or the way he expresses himself, the way he is, the way people take him when he communicates. And there is a lot of thoughts and communications in this because I have 1, 2, 3 swords cards, and then it ends with 1. Okay. Now I only have 1 major arcana in the spread itself, and this is the Chariot. And so some of you may be dealing with a water sign individual. It shows up as the Queen, but as we know, we can all embody masculine and feminine qualities. But this is also the Cancer card. So indeed, there is, for some of you Geminis, there's a water sign person that's in this, that this situation is speaking about. And what I'm picking up, the 4 of Pentacles is a card, it's about stability. Yes. And again, there's 2 4s. Now this has been, and 2 8s. No, it's 1 7. Okay, I've got 2 4s. Now, all day I've been doing these. I have 2 9s and I have 2 4s. And every single spread, I've been having multiples of cards. It's been 8s, 2 8s, 3 8s, 2 7s, 2 3s, 2 2s. This has been going on all day. So the cards are trying to tell me something. I'm not quite understanding what it is. And all of the spreads for each sign that I've done today is speaking to something going on either under the surface or behind the scenes. Okay. And I'm not quite sure what they're trying to tell me. So maybe as we go on a little bit further in July, we have a full moon coming up on the 20th, maybe into August. Maybe the cards will be kind enough to give me a little bit more information. But 2 4s, I just did this in the last thing. I think it speaks to telling of a period of a safe and secure time, but it can also speak to perhaps a home move. Okay. But individually, the 4 of coins is someone who's hanging on to the gains that they have. Okay. And it could be wise. Maybe you need to protect your, not just your money, but you even need to, you know, protect your physical body. Okay. But just kind of holding on to what you have. It is also the card of the miser, someone who's not willing to share in whatever manner that means. They don't want to talk. They don't want to share their emotions. They don't want to give you their money. They don't want to give you their time. You know, they just don't want to have nothing to do with you. Okay. And that's what that can speak of. And maybe this is why we've had somebody walk away. Now, I cannot deny that whenever I see this card, it is always indicative of something outside coming in because it's a 5. Now, I could say that there's a third party in this. We are coming up on eclipse season, and eclipses always, always bring up third party situations, no matter whether it's family, work, anything like that. Always, okay? And so typically when I see this card, this is someone who has walked away with their prize. And since I'm reading for the Geminis, I'm going to say in a sense that this is going to say for some of you Geminis who have walked away, at this point, you're the winner. And this is the card sort of like there really are no winners in this situation, okay? But if you had to say there was one, you would be it, all right? But then I have this Queen of Cups, someone who's kind and nurturing, empathetic, sympathetic, but she can also be quite moody. And maybe, you know, there's something that's been a lot of work put into it. Okay, because this is the card of, it says burdens and success, but I never see this card as a burden. To me, if it were a burden, he'd be carrying those things on his back instead of in front of him. So in a sense, this is someone who, in a sense, has been doing so much that they're just putting one foot in front of the other, and they're not even looking where they're going. So this could be literally not paying attention to what's going on around you. But I want you to look. I have this 9 of Cups. And the 9 of Cups is the wish card. And it typically says, you know, that whatever you wish for, you're going to get, that the time is right. This is past, present, and future. So some of you may have moved. Remember, we're talking about a home move. Maybe you didn't move very far. Maybe the news has come in that, you know, you're going to be moving. I do have the House card here. But for some reason, and I go from an 8 of Swords to a 9 of Swords. And the 8 is feeling stuck. Now, this card represents Jupiter in Gemini. And maybe you've been working and you've been expanding. You've got all of this energy going on and you've been doing things. And then suddenly you're going to find yourself in a position where, you know, because Jupiter, you can get too expansive too quickly. You can become reckless in your thoughts, your speech, your actions, your behavior. And it's almost like it's saying that this woman has driven you to do that. Okay? That's kind of what it looks like to me. And now you find yourself in this situation. And this is the card of being one of the hoodwinked cards. And this is someone who either doesn't realize that they're really not in a bad place. They just kind of feel like they are. Or you don't want to see what the real truth is of the situation. But if you just take off those blinders and that binding, you can see that you're not trapped and you're not stuck in this situation. It's like you got ready to move, but now you're stuck. You can't. And you can't see your way out. And this is really bothering you. Okay, it's giving you nightmares and anxieties. And those are your fears coming up. Maybe that's why this card fell out at the beginning. Okay, trying to maintain the balance of, you know, your emotions and your logic, and trying to remain, at least come from a loving place. And this could be too as well why this card has come out. She might just be an energy that you're trying to quote unquote be the bigger person or the better person in the situation. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look quickly, because this row at the bottom, this is past, present, future. This is past, present, future. We're walking away. We get some news about something. Or this card could also be about stalking and spying. Maybe somebody's stalking you. I don't know. Strange. So what I'm going to do, I want to understand why it is that I have this 9 of Cups opposite this 8 of Swords. Hopefully the Sabilas can give us a little light on that. And then I'm going to tell you what the 2 9s mean. Okay? And that's my exit card. This 8 of Swords. Jupiter in Gemini. Now I have Jupiter in Gemini, and Jupiter in Gemini Um, can be, you know, speaking before you think. People taking you wrong. Not understanding where you're coming from. It can also be the person who you can't get a word in edgewise with them. And if Joe Schmo across the room is talking about something, that person knows something about it. Okay. So in essence, I'm kind of getting the sense that whatever's happening, in a sense, you need to slow down. Maybe you've gotten yourself in a situation that has moved too far, too fast, too soon. And now you find yourself somewhat in a pickle. I want to first look at what this Nine of Cups is about. The Ammalato, the sick person, the consolante sorpresa, the comforting surprise, and the Lamante, the female lover. She's mirroring this Nine of Cups here. Whether heterosexual or same-sex couple, whomever is going to take the female in this role for you Geminis. Maybe this person came into your life when you were feeling pretty down and has brought you some, you know, surprise has just shown up kind of out of the blue. And it's like something that you've wished for right here. Okay. So maybe this Eight of Swords is speaking about this Queen instead. I'm going to have to look at the Five of Swords. Okay. What I have is someone who does not see the reality of the situation. They feel stuck, but that's an illusion. That's what they're thinking. And they haven't thought things through quite well. Jupiter and Gemini. And Jupiter is in its detriment in Gemini. So all that quick thinking and quick talking that you're doing, because it's Jupiter, it's like your mouth and your brain getting ahead of you. Letterato, the thinking man, the man of letters. Fortuna, fortunate or positive event. And the Gran Signore. Now this is kind of mirroring these things right here. So this could literally be you have talked yourself into a situation with someone, but there's some problems. Five of Swords, because this sits over the House card. Now, I can look at this and say that there could have been 3 people involved. Why? Because I have the female lover, I have the Gran Signore, and now I have the Giovane Fanciulla. Okay? But even still, if that's not the situation, what I have is some people fighting and arguing, a third party coming in, inserting themselves into a situation. Okay? And yes, someone did walk away. Okay? But yet there's some love here. Okay? And it is a romantic situation. Now, I don't know if this Giovane Fanciulla is the person who showed up and kind of threw some shit in the mix. Okay? And then I have the Costanza, which is something that is faithful and true. So I'm really getting mixed messages on what this is. I'm going to pull one more set of cards because to me, this diagonal, this triangle here, and again I have the triangle here, that's the foundation card. So let's take a look at that. This is so odd. I have no clue what the cards are saying. We know that this is something stable, and this is comfort and earned rewards, and the place where that's like a sanctuary. happiness. You can see the couple there, and they're happy, and they're waving, they're celebrating something, and they're waving people hi. Come on in. The Lamika, the confidant or the female friend or the relationship of trust, with the card of trust, fidelity, fedeltà, and the dona de servicio. So whatever this situation is, there is something about it that maybe you really shouldn't worry about. I'm trying to see if the guides are going to give me some message. Maybe your thoughts are kind of getting away from you and you need to take some time out. These are strange cards to fall on what came out. The best advice I can give you is to remain balanced. That's the best advice. If you recognize this situation, you know, you're going to have to get a personal reading, because I can't tell you what it's about, really. The cards are hinting, and sometimes they do that. I had somebody complaining a month or so ago, you never know what's going on. Yeah, I do when I'm reading for one person. When it's millions of people, I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly what the hell's going on, because I don't know. That's the way it works. And sometimes the cards will just stop speaking. So that's it. Like it or lump it. I hope that message helped you, Gemini. And until next time, namaste.